Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone. Today we're going to talk about what scientists have just discovered about how whales communicate. And this is amazing. This is so amazing. Let's dive into it. So, this is what happens. You know, whales are really interesting creatures. They're massive, they're smart, and they can live in both the ocean and on land. There are different types of whales, like the blue whale, which is the biggest animal that has ever lived on Earth. Can you imagine how big that thing is? It's huge. Or the humpback whale, which is known for its beautiful songs that it sings underwater. Humpbacks are also famous for breaching, which means when they jump out of the water and then slam back down. It's an amazing thing to see. But not all whales are like that. Some of them are a little bit more shy and mysterious. Take, for example, the North Atlantic right whale. These whales are really rare. There aren't many of them left. And they don't make a lot of noise, so we haven't been able to listen in on their conversations before. But now we finally know what they sound like and what they might be saying to each other. It's incredible. Scientists have been trying to figure out how whales communicate for a long time. It's hard to study them in the wild because they live in the ocean and they move around a lot. Plus, they make their sounds underwater, which makes it even harder to hear them. Even though it's hard, scientists have learned a lot. They've figured out that whales use sounds to talk to each other. They use these sounds to find mates, to find food, and to protect their babies. Sounds like us humans, right? We use language to communicate, and now we know that whales do, too. But there's one thing that scientists haven't been able to figure out. They don't know what whales actually say. I mean, we know that they make sounds, but we don't know if those sounds have secret meanings. For example, maybe one sound means I am hungry, or another sound means look out for that boat. Scientists have been trying to figure this out for a long time, but it's really hard. Whales live in the ocean and they move around a lot. So it's hard to follow them and see what they do when they make different sounds. Plus, they make their sounds underwater, which makes it even harder to hear them. But scientists haven't given up. They're still trying to learn what whales say and what it all means. And recently, they made an amazing discovery. They found out that whales have their own languages. That's right. Whales use sounds to communicate, and those sounds have secret meanings just like our words. It's really cool. Now, let me tell you how they found this out. Scientists have been studying the North Atlantic right whale. This is a special kind of whale that lives in the ocean, and they're really rare. There aren't many of them left, and they don't make a lot of noise, so we haven't been able to listen in on their conversations before. But that's changed. Scientists have come up with a new way to listen in on whales. It's amazing. These scientists went out into the ocean and they used a special device to listen in on the whales. They wanted to see what the whales sounded like, and if they could understand what they were saying, and what they heard was amazing. The whales were making all kinds of sounds, clicks and whistles and pulses. And the scientists realized that these sounds had secret meanings. They were a kind of language. The scientists were so excited. They had never heard anything like this before. They went back to their lab and they started to study the sounds. They wanted to figure out what each sound meant and if the whales were using them to talk to each other. And they found out that the whales were using these sounds to communicate. The sounds had secret meanings. Just like our words, the scientists were amazed. They couldn't believe that whales had their own language. They had to keep listening and studying to make sure that they were right. But the more they listened, the more they realized that it was true. Whales do have their own language. It's amazing. Now, the scientists are still working on figuring out exactly what the whales are saying. It's hard to understand a new language, especially when you're a scientist and you don't speak whale, but they're making progress. They've already learned that the whales use different sounds for different things. For example, they use one sound when they're happy and another sound when they're scared. They also use sounds to talk about food and to find mates. It's just like us humans. We use language for all kinds of things. We use it to talk about our feelings, to ask for help, and to make plans. And now we know that whales do the same thing. They use their own language to talk about their feelings, to warn each other about danger, and to find mates. Scientists are also learning that whales use their sounds to protect their babies. Whales are mammals, which means that they give birth to live babies. They don't lay eggs, and they nurse their babies with milk. Just like us humans, right? Well, scientists have noticed that whales make special sounds when they have babies. They make these sounds to keep their babies safe. They use them to talk to each other and to protect their babies from danger. So how do they do that? Well, whales live in the ocean and they have to be careful. There are lots of things that could hurt their babies, like sharks or boats. So whales use their sounds to keep their babies safe. They make these special sounds and they listen for the sounds of other whales. If they hear any dangerous sounds, like the sound of a shark or a boat, they know to stay away. That way, their babies are safe. It's amazing how whales take care of their young. They use their sounds to protect them from danger, and scientists are learning more about this all the time. They want to understand how whales use their sounds to communicate and how they use them to protect their babies. It's hard work, but it's important work. Whales are in danger. There aren't many of them left, and they need our help. By understanding how whales communicate, we can help keep them safe. We can use their sounds to protect them from danger and to make sure that they have babies and raise them safely. It's not easy being a scientist. You have to be curious and ask questions about everything. You have to be creative and think of new ways to solve problems, and you have to be patient and never give up. But being a scientist is also really fun. You get to explore the world and learn new things every day. And you get to share your discoveries with other people and make the world a better place. That's why being a scientist is the best job in the world. Learning about the world around us is so important. It helps us understand where we come from and how we can help protect the planet. When we learn about the natural world, we learn about ourselves. We learn that we're all connected and that we all have a role to play. It's up to us to decide what kind of world we want to live in. Do we want to live in a world where whales can sing their songs and dolphins can leap, and where the trees can sway in the wind and the birds can fly? Or do we want to live in a world where all of that is gone? The choice is ours, and it starts with learning. Learning about the world around us is the first step to protecting it. It helps us understand the delicate balance that makes life on Earth possible and the importance of each and every creature. It also helps us understand the challenges facing our planet and the actions we can take to make a difference. When we learn about the natural world, we learn that we're all connected and that we all have a role to play. It's up to us to decide what kind of world we want to live in. Do we want to live in a world where whales can sing their songs and dolphins can leap, and where the trees can sway in the wind and the birds can fly? Or do we want to live in a world where all of that is gone? The choice is ours, and it starts with learning. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed learning about whales with me today. If you did, please remember to like this video. And if you want to learn more about amazing animals like whales, then click on the link right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.